All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Late Night Crypto Talk, Bitcoin. Brandon here. Wait. What is that? Coach Robin, the Sixers and the Lakers are playing right now? How did I not get that notification? Or is it happening? Man, how did I miss that? Anyways, they're not paying me, so still going to have our normal crypto talk. I am starting a little bit earlier than normal. I have a lot to do this evening. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. Let's see, who do we have? Mafoose from Laurel, Maryland. Tony Pinkston from Philadelphia. Sean, the Coach Robinson from Philly. Patty Moore from Hawaii. Sixers versus Lakers. We know who's going to win that one. I would like to say Lakers, but, you know. Rohan Johnson from the ATL. DJ Wildcat from DC. Skirtala from Philly. Lorna Vasquez, Hanford, California. Lashana, I'm about to get paid, Robinson from Richmond, California. Benita Nunez. Lakers lose by 20 plus. Is Kyle Kuzma playing? If Kyle Kuzma and LeBron James is playing, it might be close. Just saying. All right, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions. And it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Find a vehicle like KGX, take action, stay focused, and do not get distracted. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And in this space, ladies and gentlemen, that is the most that we can ask for. Good evening, Muhammad. All right, so let me turn on screen share. Share screen is up. I did not do an early morning crypto talk this morning. I woke up way too late. Normally I do it at 9 a.m. my time, and I was knocked out asleep still. So let's see what's been going on with the market. So right now the market is at $121 billion market cap. That hasn't moved in 24 hours from what I remember. However, Bitcoin dominance is at 52.9%, kind of flat line. Of course, you know, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. You see this spike here? I thought it was going to be the reverse. I thought this spike up was going to be a spike down. I still believe that it will go down. I just don't know when at this point. It spiked back up to levels where it was at 2 weeks ago, the 3,600. And when it was at this level, I was betting that it would go up to the 3,900. And it didn't. It went down. So that's twice I've missed the mark on this. Again, you're not always correct. Sometimes I'm wrong. Long term, I know I'm right on where this is going to go. Ethereum, 1.69%. Ripple, negative 1.48%. The market's pretty much flat line. Let's see, best performers last 24 hours. ARC, almost 30% up. Theta, Coin. What about any top coins? Binance Coin is up 3.4%. Neo, 2.48%. Ethereum, 1.69%. Worst performers, Digibyte, Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, negative 2.5%. Tron, negative 1.9%. All right, let's look at some news. I'm gonna cover Quadra X. Been covering this since it first came out about that largest exchange in Canada that has a story behind it that you can do a movie off of this drama. Financial difficulty all year. Owner decides to take a trip to India, dies. The only one who had the password. $100 million gone. People's money's gone. But wait, there's more to the story. He died a month ago, and we're just now hearing about it. He supposedly had the only keys to all the loot, which we know is not true because they hired a company to create a multi-sig security system for them, which means multiple people have access to the account. He writes a will 12 days before he dies, a new will, by the way. He's only 31 years old, so I'm sorry, in my eyes, his death is circumstantial. That's shady as all hell. Check out the wife. He leaves everything to her. Money from the accounts move after he's dead. And nobody knows nothing, huh? All right, let's see what news today is about Quadriga X. Canada's regulators might help crypto exchange Quadriga CX's victims after all. Why? Were they insured or something? Provincial securities regulators in British Columbia, Canada, won't be investigating the Quadriga CX scandal. What? Wait. Hold up. Just that first sentence. Why won't you be investigating it? Won't be investigating? However, new developments could see Canada's largest securities body, the Ontario Securities Commission, which is like the SEC, begin an investigation. Okay, I don't care who does the investigation. Somebody needs to be investigating. On Friday, according to Reuters, the OSC has confirmed in a statement it will be looking into cryptocurrency exchange Quadriga CX, where currently $190 million in cryptocurrency has been lost. Though an OSC spokesperson did not confirm if the regulator will conduct a formal investigation, it said, given the potential harm to Ontario investors, we are looking into this matter. The OSC's role as the Ontario provincial arm of the Canadian Securities Administrators is to protect regional investors. In its 2018 and 19 Statement of Priorities, the body committed to innovative regulation of cryptos and actively encourages fintech startups in the province. Canada has yet to beef up crypto regulation and add a more comprehensive legislative framework for the sector. But it has also taken action against illicit ICO offerings, and the OSC may well decide to pursue Quadriga CX further. Alan Goodman, co-chair of a technology group at Goodman's LLP, believes the OSC would first check if Quadriga CX has breached security laws in Canada, he stated. For example, should Quadriga have been registered as an exchange and were in any securities laws breached with respect to the trading of the coins on the exchange? See, this is why I'm confused. What do you mean if? They're the largest exchange in Canada. You guys next to the United States. are always regulating something in the crypto space, shutting down ICOs left and right. You mean to tell me that you allowed them to operate without a license, without being registered, without answering questions as to the security of their exchange, know your customer laws, anti-money laundering? See, this just gets more strange every day. How's that possible? Earlier, the British Columbia Securities Commission said Quadriga CX was outside of its jurisdiction. It will take no action to benefit those affected. But y'all are quick to be shutting things down. I don't understand. They're like Texas. They said BCSC does not currently have any indication that Quadriga CX, the crypto asset trading platform, was trading in securities or derivatives or operated as a marketplace or exchange under British Columbia securities laws. They were the largest exchange in Canada. Quadriga CX, an elaborate scam or an unprecedented, unexpected scenario? Scam. I'm calling it a scam. The Quadriga CX scandal is unprecedented. Its founder, Gerald Cotton, reportedly the only person with access to Quadriga CX cryptocurrency cold storage, died suddenly in India. There were no protocols in place to allow another Quadriga CX employee access, and now no one can reach the $190 million belonging to Quadriga CX users. I call BS on that. Follow the money. What's this tweet here? This is an interesting. The two other Quadriga founders look like they are fake names, and one of them is an anagram for heroin lover. What? Quadriga CX was founded and still controlled by two other people, Michael Patrin, Levy Horner. There have been many. The Quadriga cold wallets are about as cold as Gerald Cotton's corpse, which is likely not very cold, so people still think he's alive. Mount Quadriga, Comedy Gold withdrawals. Someone notices that the notoriously lost Litecoin cold wallets are being drained by someone at this very moment, haunted by the ghost of Gerald Cotton. There is ongoing speculation about whether Cotton is really dead, or if this could be some elaborate scam, as well as if Quadriga CX really held cryptocurrency balances in cold storage. See, this type of stuff right here always sets crypto back. If you do what you're just supposed to do, we're good to go. But when you feed the beast, the negative people, the ones that think everything in crypto is a scam anyway, and you allow stuff like this to happen, it only hurts all of us. One user, Ethan Liu, with $2,000 invested in the platform and who met with Cotton in 2014, writing for the Toronto Star, says, let's close that. Cotton's death in India is suspicious. Vancouver's Quadriga had been having cash flow problems for months. 12 days before Cotton's death, the man made a detailed will, including money for his Chihuahua dogs. How did he neglect his laptop password? I asked the same question. Last Tuesday, a judge gave Quadriga CX a 30-day stay on claims from creditors and potential lawsuits, while the exchange continues to try to gain access to Cotton's laptop and the millions in lost cryptocurrencies. Follow the money. Keep a tab on the wife. He might pop up in Brazil or something somewhere. But there's another article about Quadriga X. It is this one. California engineer loses $422,000 in life savings after using Quadriga CX. Is help coming? Let's stop right there. I haven't even read this article yet, but I already see two problems here. The first problem, three problems here. One's a California man, making us look bad. The second problem, he's an engineer at that. He put his life savings. What is my rule Number two, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. So he put his life savings into crypto. And then here's the next rule. He is not one of my 4 rules, but you learn this if you have any basic crypto education knowledge. Do not put all your coins and leave them on a freaking exchange. What are you doing with $422,000 sitting on an exchange? And it's your life savings at that. And now is help coming? See, if you are educated, you would have known. This is why KGX is so important. This is why no matter what you do, and there's many of you out there that have multiple businesses, which is fine. Whatever you need to do that's going to make you some money. The reason why KGX is important is because it's going to teach you what to do after you make the money. I've been in network marketing for 20 years. And you know what I've seen? From broke people to the 7-figure earners, none of them know what to do with their money once they make it. They think that that residual income cash cow is going to keep coming forever. And when the well dries up and their lifestyle remains high, cost of living went up, they go back to being broke because they didn't know where to put their money. They didn't know how to invest it. So if you are doing multiple things and you're making extra money, this is why KGX is so important. It's going to keep you leaps and bounds ahead of the other people in your companies that is not part of KGX, does not have financial education. I guarantee you this California engineer has no education in crypto. He used his life savings and he put it all onto an exchange. And here's another question. This is kind of shady to me. What's he doing on Quadriga CX exchange anyway? You're in California. Why aren't you using like Poloniex, Bittrex, or Binance? Why are you using Canadian exchange? That's questionable right there. But let's see if we can learn something. A California-based engineer lost the entirety of his life savings after using Quadriga CX's cryptocurrency exchange for remittance. Tong Zhao, 30, 30 years old, said in an interview to Bloomberg that he had opened a withdrawal request at Quadriga CX in October 2018, According to his statements, he was planning to move to Canada at that time. Okay, well, that explains why he's using the Canadian exchange. It's not necessary, but okay, I can go with that story so far. Zhao thought using a cryptocurrency exchange for remittance would save him money. Dude, if you're moving around $500,000, the last thing you need to be thinking about is to save money. The only thing you need to be thinking about is security. But okay, he's trying to save a couple bucks. So he purchased Bitcoins in the US and transferred them to his Canadian-based Quadriga CX exchange account for a quick fiat withdrawal. Okay, so he wasn't trying to use the exchange to hold his coins. He was trying to use the exchange to pull the money out. I can't fault him for that, but we're questioning, in his eyes, Quadriga X is the largest exchange in Canada. I mean, why not? So far, I'm not challenging his logic here. I am challenging his common sense. You did all of that in your life savings on one transaction. So he says, I wasn't using it for trading. I just wanted to move my money over to my Canadian bank account. So it may be logical. Since I don't do business in Canada, I don't know the procedure on moving. If he put it on a U.S. exchange to move, like if he used Uphold or Coinbase, unless he was trying to avoid certain taxes, and then pull it from there into his Canadian bank account, maybe the Canadian bank account wouldn't accept the money from a U.S. exchange. I don't know. I don't know what What the Canadian banks might have a deal with Quadriga CX. We don't know. However, the withdrawal request made by Zhao and other 115,000 people met a dead end after Quadriga CX declared itself insolvent. Okay, so this happened in October. Now we can connect the dots. They were having financial problems all year, which means we don't know. They might have been broke all the way to this time and not reflecting it in the books. So people trying to make a withdrawal in October weren't able to. Red flags. November, the CEO makes a new will. Red flag. December, he travels to India and all of a sudden dies. Red flag. His death is not reported for a month. His wife doesn't say nothing. Red flag. And all of a sudden, here's how you cover your tracks. If there's no money to begin with, say, oh, well, you know, all the money's lost because he's the only one who had the storage of the cold wallets. We can't get it. When there was probably no money anyway. They probably already blew through all the money. I don't even watch CSI, and I could figure this one out. So the exchange announced that it had lost access to $190 million worth of cryptos after its founder, Gerald Cotton, died. Which, I mean, what's his spelling? I keep seeing Cotton, Cotten, Cottan. Anybody know what this clown's name is? He died unexpectedly during a humanitarian trip to India. Cotton reportedly was the only person who had access to Quadriga CX's cold wallets. After his death, the exchange decided to discontinue services and file for creditor protection at a local court. But for clients like Zhao, the wait is a nightmare. He told Bloomberg that he had already relocated to Vancouver, but with all his savings disappeared into Quadriga CX, he could not afford himself a decent apartment. At the same time, he was planning to look for a job while surviving on his life savings. He cannot do it either. Okay, well, you know, I can't fault the guy. So his plan at 30 years old, I'm just going to up and move to Canada. You know, I want to change the scenery. I don't know what. I want to move from, 85-degree year-round weather in freaking Cali to go to cold-ass Canada with no job, no roots, no family, and live off my savings until I find a job. So that was his plan. I can't knock it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to pick up and have a brand new start over. Who knows? So it's all my savings. So I'm just living on what little I have left and trying to start over, said Zhao. It pretty much took everything away from me. I was going to use that money for a deposit on an apartment, but now I can't do that anymore. And now I'm currently searching for a job, so it's kind of a bad time for me. You think? Is help coming? Zhao and other Quadriga CX users are coordinating with each other via a Telegram messaging group. The victims turned to Bennett Jones LLP and McInnes Cooper to represent them in Quadriga's ongoing creditor protection proceedings in the Supreme Court of Nova Scotia. Their motion will be heard on February 14th at 9:30 local time. Now, normally I am against class action lawsuits and stuff like that. Only ones who win on that is the lawyers. But in this type of a case, I definitely will be a part of any type of legal proceedings, because an exchange like this is supposed to have been operating legally in the country, regulated by the country. It is not some, brand new startup that's trying to avoid any government regulations, and you're taking a big risk. So I feel for him on this. I'm questioning his decision making, especially if you knew, maybe he didn't know that. Again, this is where education comes in. Quadriga CX, I went through in the back. There's been reports on them having financial difficulty. Why would you put your money there? When they're having financial difficulty. Just like I'm being proactive right now, I no longer trust Poloniex like I used to. It's just I just got a feeling something about Poloniex, and I don't like too much. So I'm switching to Binance. So the commission didn't clarify whether or not it would initiate a formal investigation into the $190 million scam. Users have accused Quadriga CX of faking Cotton's death to steal from their cold wallet reserves. Blockchain forensic experts also found that the exchange didn't have any cold wallets in place, based on deposit withdrawal data they accumulated from its clients. On February 5th, Quadriga received a 30-day stay on claims from creditors and potential lawsuits. The exchange expects to gain access to Cotton's laptop to retrieve the lost money. Here's what they're going to find out. They're going to retrieve that laptop, and there's going to be no coins in it. Check the wife. Keep tabs on her. He's either going to pop up alive somewhere, or you're going to see her spending with money she's not supposed to have. One or the other. One thing I've learned is people that are used to living a certain lifestyle, it is very, very hard to go back. So if she's been living the high life for years, since 2012, 13, she ain't going back to the way things used to be. Watch her very closely. All right, let's go on to another article. We have another person claiming to be Satoshi Nakamoto. Really, guys? Well, I mean, what goes through these clowns' heads? I'm Satoshi Nakamoto. It's like that old Eminem song, "Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?" I mean, really? And you're the Bitcoin Cash developer? Let me post this here. Why would you even, what goes through your brain to think, yeah, I'm gonna claim I'm Satoshi Nakamoto? What, you just want publicity? This looks like one of those guys too. Was Amari Sechet serious when he claimed to be the person who created Bitcoin? Bitcoin Cash developer Amari Sechet. Now, this is the first time I'm hearing his name coming up to being Satoshi Nakamoto. The Bitcoin community will be rolling its eyes right about now. Yeah, I am. Bitcoin Cash developer Amari Sechet. And what is it with the Bitcoin Cash people? You got Craig Wright, the main one behind Bitcoin Cash, who also claimed to be, or still claims to be, Satoshi Nakamoto. Or maybe it is that, remember I said, if you listen to me, I think Satoshi Nakamoto is not one individual, but I think it's a group of people or an organization or even the NSA, CIA, or British government, some form. What if it is a group of developers like Bitcoin Cash people? Because it's the second guy from that group claiming to be Satoshi. So, DeadX Nix. Oh, wait. The Bitcoin community will be rolling its eyes right about now. Bitcoin Cash developer Amari Sechet, the self-described benevolent dictator. Oh, here we go. Really? You're calling yourself the benevolent? Let me look at this fool again. This is why people can't take crypto serious. We got these nerds. He looks like a guy that was playing Dungeons and Dragons for about 15 years in his mom's basement. All right, stop, Brandon. Cut it out. I'm in a mood today, if you can't tell. Let me leave the man alone. Self-described benevolent dictator. Claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto. He says, I am Satoshi Nakamoto. There it is, said, and I can prove it. Then he puts down a Bitcoin address or blockchain address. In the event the tweet is later deleted, here's a screenshot. The benevolent dictator. One of my dreams is going to a blockchain event and being able to be on panel, on stage with one of these clowns and going at it. Because if you haven't paid attention, they have some beefs within their own little community, and I find hilarious. It's like keyboard warriors. And then when they finally meet each other face to face at the event, it's like, okay, here's a good example. Have you ever seen, those of you on Facebook might have seen this. I thought this was funny. It's funny. It's a meme of four dogs, one big dog on one side of the gate, and then three little smaller dogs on the other side of the gate, and they're barking at each other. They're going at it, right? The gate begins to open, and as the gate opens, they're still barking at each other, but now they can get access to each other. And when the gate fully opens, you know what both sides do? Both dogs, they turn around and go the other direction. They were all bark. It's funny as heck if you haven't seen that. But that's how these guys are. When they get to these blockchain events and they actually see each other face to face, you can tell they've probably never been in a fight in their lives. It's just hilarious to me. But I'm not saying I would go there to get into a fight, but I certainly would find it hilarious. So if one of these nerds try to run up on me, that would be hilarious. Anyways, the benevolent dictator. Sechet and Bitcoin ABC were cited by former Bitcoin Cash developer, now on Bitcoin SV, Unwriter as a primary. So we know Bitcoin SV, that's Craig Wright's camp. Unwriter as a primary problem for the BCH ecosystem. Unwriter believes that virtually anything that Bitcoin ABC wants, ABC gets, which he sees as toxic for decentralization. The power of Bitcoin ABC was a motivating factor in the BSV's fork foundation. Unwriter recently launched a number of projects on Bitcoin SV. In a follow-up tweet, Sechet provides some clues. I am Satoshi Nakamoto. The hash of the message is, and then it gives you some hash. Its content will be revealed soon. If you don't believe me, stiff. Well, what does that mean? Is he British? Craig Wright is. So this guy looks probably, if he's British, is that a British term? Stiff, like bite me or something? I don't know that term. A Stack Exchange post by Bitcoin developer Gregory Maxwell explains that faking Satoshi's identity is easier than one might expect. So, for example, a couple of years ago, Craig Wright claimed to prove he was Satoshi by simply copying some pre-existing signatures out of the blockchain and posting somewhat obfuscated instructions on verifying them. It was figured out pretty quickly, but still managed to fool a lot of people. They were too caught up in the mumbo jumbo to think of the obvious. Most people have so far taken the post in a lighthearted manner like this. I knew that all along. Your beard gave it away. One look at that beard of yours and I knew you were Satoshi Nakamoto. Indeed, there's a greater than zero possibility that Sechet is joking, perhaps even taking a not so subtle jab at Craig Wright. Let's hope so anyway. Good news knows one fake Toshi is enough. Jury is out on Amuri Sechet being Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. However, we are journalists. We have to report on the fact that a prominent BCH developer is now appearing to claim the name Satoshi Nakamoto. Certain questions arise as to the nature of Sechet's wealth. For one thing, if he's Satoshi Nakamoto and he doesn't believe in Bitcoin Core anymore, why not just cash in his billions and pump the Bitcoin Cash price? True. For his part, the last person to publicly claim he was Satoshi Nakamoto was bitter about the idea, Dr. Craig Wright. Oh, shame, a shame you failed to understand even the basics concerning Bitcoin. Please continue down that path. Do not allow me to stop you. How about you swear an oath formally? What? I guess that's clapback, nerd clapback. While we're on the subject of Craig S. Wright, there is growing unverified by CC and speculation that he may be an academic plagiarist. Yeah, I covered that about a year and a half ago. The Craig Wright fraud scandal gets worse and worse the more we dig. He copied sections 3, -3.1, 4, 5, 6 from Liu and Wang. The story is still developing as Sechet has yet to post any more information. The last tweet he made related to his claim was a retweet of someone else claiming he was telling the truth. Really? You always got to have your fanboys, huh? Rest assured, CCN will be hot on this story. We've reached out to Amari Sechet for an interview, any interesting results of which we will post forthwith. I think this is a publicity stunt that he's doing. He might have been high or drunk and decided to drunk tweet, and now he's like, "Dang, I can't take that back. I was just joking with my buddies, and I did it." But when the FBI come knocking on your door, watch how quickly he reverses course. Oh no, not me. There's a reason why Satoshi Nakamoto hasn't come forward. The authorities around the world will lock him up. All right. I'm going to watch this one, though, because he looks, like I said, he looks like a Dungeons and Dragons type of guy. The benevolent dictator. Anyways, let's look at Binance. I like this. The Binance CEO, we're still at the beginning of Bitcoin revolution. I agree 100%. I agree with this. Bitcoin billionaire Changpeng Zhao has an encouraging message for crypto fans who fear they missed the boat. You guys, we haven't even got started yet on the cryptocurrency bandwagon. The Bitcoin revolution is still at the beginning of the beginning, so you haven't missed anything yet. Zhao, the founder of cryptocurrency exchange Binance, was responding to a Twitter user who says he wishes he had jumped on the bandwagon in 2013, when Bitcoin was still an obscure technology in its infancy. In 2013, the Bitcoin price fluctuated between $13 and $947. Today, the Bitcoin price, though heavily battered, hovers at around $3,600. Zhao responded by telling his Twitter follower that the best is yet to come and he has not missed the boat. That's exactly what I thought back in 2013. Damn, am I too late? I wish I started early like those other guys. And I will say the same thing I heard back then. We are still early, the beginning of the beginning. Think about that. When Bitcoin crosses 20,000, do you know what people will be saying? Man, I wish I would have gotten Bitcoin when it was at $3,600 a coin. When it's $100,000 a coin, man, I wish I got back in Bitcoin when it was $3,600 a coin, when it was dirt cheap. The exchange, Eric Voorhees and CZ's crypto bromance. The exchange started after Eric Voorhees, the CEO of crypto exchange Shapeshift, complimented Zhao for the phenomenal success Binance has enjoyed in its short history. You think, 2 years old, now he's a billionaire? One cannot but be impressed and inspired by the incredible success that Binance has achieved over the last 15 years. Binance has been around for 15 years. CZ Binance, it's been awesome watching your ascent. Keep up the good building. Zhao continued the Bitcoin bromance by saying meeting Voorhees in 2013 was a turning point in his career and a good inspiration. Whoa, look at this bromance going back and forth. It's kind of like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Oh, did I say that? Okay, I'll say Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. Is that better? No, I can't say that one either. I'll just leave that alone. Eric Voorhees' Shapeshift is the latest casualty of the harsh crypto winter. In January 2019, Shapeshift laid off 1/3 of its workforce, comprised of 37 employees, after getting hammered by the Bitcoin crash of 2018. Voorhees accepted responsibility for the disastrous state of his company, but said taking financial risk is part of his job as a CEO. I agree. As a company, our greatest and worst financial decision is the same: to embrace substantial exposure to crypto assets. Much of our balance sheet is comprised of them. We accept the volatility. We accept the risk. I can lay this mistake in nobody's feet but my own. I had a conversation with somebody earlier that was really blowing me up, and last couple of days, I was really, I've been in my own little cave, really actually the last 2 months, not very sociable, so to speak. And this person just kept pounding me today. So I responded. And what they were asking me about was the risk, wanting to get into crypto, but it's risky and they're afraid of losing money, and asked about me. And he asked, how much money have you lost? I thought about that. I said, well, and since I've been in crypto now for over 2 years, I've lost probably a little over 40 grand. And then at one point, if I count that, I was at $2,000 a day. So I lost that $2,000 a day income on top of that 40 grand. And so he responded, see, that's exactly why I'm afraid to get in. I can't afford to lose that kind of money, blah, 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 blah. I said, but hold on. I'm not finished. I started with $30 and I've made 6 figures plus. So the amount of money I've made far exceeds what I lost. Nothing is 100%. Nothing is guaranteed. You don't win 100% of the time. Things don't always go your way. As a matter of fact, what I found in the crypto space, nothing goes exactly the way you want it to go. That is why I have a simple rule. Whenever I'm approached with anything, whenever anybody tells me anything, I look at worst case scenario. If the worst case scenario happens, can I live with it? The answer is yes, if and only if I at least get a return on my investment. You guys understand that? This is not my advice to you. This is how I operate in the crypto space. So if somebody told me, Brandon, you're going to lose over $40,000 and $2,000 a day, but you're going to be able to be self-sufficient and you're going to make multiple 6 figures in crypto and 7 figures, but you got to lose a 40K. Would you do it? Heck yeah. That's the cost of doing business. Some of you will say, no, I can't risk. I can't risk losing money. You got to be willing to take a risk. And you've got to be able to live when it doesn't go your way. Oh, the machine's going to do 20,000 or 40,000 coins a day. What's worst case scenario? You know what my worst case scenario was that I was good with? 1,000 coins a day. That was my worst case scenario when it came to green. Oh, green might be worth 2 cents, 5 cents, 20 cents on the exchange. You know what my worst case scenario is? 1/4 of a penny. I'm always prepared for the best and the worst. And I don't cry when the best doesn't happen. I don't lose my stuff when the best doesn't happen. I don't burn my brain cells when the best doesn't happen. I move on. Next plan. You got to think like a CEO. Act as if you are already a billionaire. How do they operate? Despite the protracted market slump, die-hard believers like Changpeng Zhao are undeterred in their vision of a dazzling crypto revolution that will disrupt whole industries. Yeah, because they've got the long game ahead. They are thinking big time. They're not worried about the current price of Bitcoin right now. It is irrelevant. As CCN reported, Zhao has no doubt that Binance will still be here in 100 years because cryptocurrencies are just getting started. Binance is ready to survive any number of years, no matter if it's bear or bull. That's the same way with you guys in the crypto space. Can you survive whether it's bear or bull? Education will allow you to survive. You know why I know most people lack education? Because the moment the crypto industry started to have a downturn and people thought they were losing money, they left, quit the crypto space, sold all their coins, and they're now marketing everything else under the sun. These are the same people that are going to come running back when Bitcoin crosses $8,000 and $10,000 a coin. You're going to see a movement back into crypto like you've never seen before. And most of those people are not educated in the space. Tim Draper, the future is moving in direction of crypto. That is an absolute fact, not an opinion. That's the same exuberant outlook that tech billionaire Tim Draper has about the crypto industry. Draper boldly predicts that crypto will eventually overtake fiat money to make up 2/3 of the world's total currency value. It's going to be better for people, Draper said. They're going to move to crypto, and they're going to go away from the political currency. They call it fiat. I like that term, the political currency. This is the second time I've heard that now used. I need to implement that or add it to my vocabulary. Political currency. I like that. Draper is an unapologetic crypto evangelist who stands by his bullish $250,000 Bitcoin price target for 2022. Short-term market setbacks do not unnerve him the way they do people with short-term day trader mindset. That's true. Most people. You can't stop an idea whose time has come. Who quoted that? I've heard that quote before. Draper says crypto is a disruptive, game-changing revolution. And as French novelist Victor Hugo observed, okay, he said it, Victor Hugo, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. I got to put that as my Facebook post. I tend to move my dollars into Bitcoin because why would I want this currency that's tied to some political force when I have a currency that is going to be frictionless and global? I would much rather have a global currency than one that is sort of tied to a political force. So that's another individual that's using that same, well, Tim Draper, came up with that political currency. Tim Draper said crypto will inevitably weather its share of ups and downs, like all great inventions do, but the market will relentlessly move forward. The internet started in the same way. It came in big waves, and then it kind of came crashing down. And then the next wave comes concentrated but much bigger. I suspect the same thing will go on here. You know what? There's one series that has captivated me. I watched this years ago. It's called The Men Who Built America on the History Channel. If you haven't seen that, watch that. Because I love looking at them in the minds of highly successful people. Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, the Andrew Carnegie, the Rockefellers, John D. Rockefeller, David Rockefeller, Thomas Edison. The men who built the country. But there's a new series that I just finished binge watching, and whenever I go into, I call it my cave. I binge watch shows. And the latest one I just finished on Netflix is called Mars. Simply called Mars. Now, anything that has to do with space and technology and stuff, I love. So I watched that, and I love how they segmented what can happen in the future based on what is taking place right now. So it goes over, even from Nikola Tesla and his thoughts to what Elon Musk is doing right now with SpaceX and us colonizing Mars. And the challenges, there was a challenge every step of the way. And every challenge could have spelled disaster and shut the whole thing down. And it takes people with vision. It takes people that basically off of faith and nothing more. No empirical evidence. Simple faith. I can't count how many times I saw in that movie or the series one little thing that can go wrong. Especially when I don't want to give it away, but there's one part. If that girl fell off the cliff in the cave, game over. It just a little bit of wind just kind of breezed through. Game over. But how all through human history, we've always been faced with challenges to new things and new technologies and new ways of doing things. And there's always been a critic there to say it can't be done. And yet we still push through and we're still here. That's why I look at KGX. You guys have no idea behind the scenes all the stuff KGX has been through, yet we are still here. And the best days is ahead of us. We haven't even started yet. We're about to enter a phase that I finally will consider us getting started. You'll be hearing an announcement very soon about what I'm talking about. But we're still here. And I'm going to share this because I know there's people out there. And I understand kind of like the laws of the universe and stuff. And there's a storm that has descended upon, I don't know if you call it the world, the universe, vibration, or what. I had this talk with Jairus Coleman back in December that I said, when you look around, you never know what somebody's going through. Somebody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. You may not see it on the surface. You may see them smile. You may see them, it seems like they're happy. It seems like everything is okay. But you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes, behind Facebook, in their real lives. You only see what they want you to see. You never know if somebody's in a deep depression or a mild depression. You never know if somebody's suicidal. You don't know. And one thing I was sharing with Jairus is that we're not the only ones. When you look around, you see everybody going through something, rich and poor. I don't care who you are. Everybody is in the storm. It's like on Mars when that dust storm came. There's no escaping it. And one thing I was visiting with my mom and my grandmother back in December, and one thing that they both said was sometimes you have to remain still. There is no decision you can make right now to solve whatever crisis it may seem you're going through right now. Sometimes you've got to bunker down and ride through the storm and let the storm pass and happen. And as I made a post on my Facebook page and a quote on my Facebook page, and I'm going to read that quote. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Oh, come on. I'm screen sharing right now, so I don't want to put my Facebook because I see a whole bunch of messages came through. They're maybe private. You don't need to see that, but let me look this up on my other computer. But this is an important quote that I saw somebody else post just today. And I'm saying this because there's somebody that needs to hear it. There might be multiple people that need to hear what I'm saying right now. So bear with me. There's always a point. Okay, let me get to it. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. If you've ever listened to my personal development talks, I speak about that things happen to us for a reason, and we must decide how we're going to benefit from whatever's happening to us. Not play the victim role, because you can't when things are happening that you have no control over. But the ability to turn any situation that may seem as a loss into a learning situation. Two men can be working for the same company and both want more out of life, and they both pray for more out of life. They go home, sleep on it, go to work the next day, and both get a layoff notice. They lose their job. One man curses the Lord for losing his job, saying, I came to you because I wanted more out of life. I wanted a better life for myself. I need more money. I need more resources. And the first thing you do is I lose my job, which means I'm losing money. I'm losing my income. My life just got a whole lot worse. I don't understand. Why am I cursed? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Why can't I just get over the hump? The other guy who lost his same job says, okay, now I have time to go looking for something better. And within a very short period of time, the second man, instead of cursing his situation, feeling depressed about his situation, finds another opportunity that was paying him twice as much as what he was doing before. And he would have never found that if he was still on the job he had the first time. And then came back and thanked the Lord for making him lose his job so that he could find something better. The first man never recovered because he's stuck in his thought process that he's cursed. Never looking for an opportunity, never being open, having a bad vibration that just brought more misery into his life. Once you understand the power of vibration and stuff, in our KGS community group, and I find this very, very interesting, it explains to me why it's a short number of successful people and why the vast majority of people remain broke and stuck in their situation. I posted probably one of the most important videos I have ever seen in the last 10 years, and they got 2 likes. 2. I even said flat out, this is the secret. This is the secret. Dad, let me call you right back. I'm almost finished with this call.
Okay.
This is the secret. This is what successful people do. This is what Napoleon Hill wrote about, and then Henry Ford made him take off all the shells because he revealed too much of the secret. Key words. In the first sentence of the video, first 20 seconds, he gave the secret. Vibration. Feelings. Oh, dang, what was the third word? I'll have to go back and watch it again. He gave the secret. 2 likes. I know why people are going through what they're going through because they just don't get it. But for those of you that is in your own personal storm right now, you can't make the storm go by faster. You can't, when the sun sets, you can't force it to come up in an hour. It's got to go its course. It's got to wait another 9 hours before it rises for the next day. But the sun will rise. What you have to be able to do is be strong enough to survive until the sun rises again. You have to be able to keep your head up. You have to be able to keep moving forward. You have to be putting in work right now while the sun is set and not wait for it to rise and then begin to turn your life around. This is the time where you dig in the trenches. I might have been in my cave for the last 2 months. What do you mean, Brandon? You've been in your cave? Those who know me know what I'm talking about, who know me personally. I've been in my own cave. You might hear me do my crypto talks twice a day. It may seem like I'm visible, but I haven't been. You have no idea how much energy it took me just to get to Seattle for the crypto talk, Bitcoin boot camp in Seattle. You have no idea. And this happens to everybody. But while I've been in my cave, I've been working so that when that sun rises, talk about an unbelievable, what might seem as a miracle, as your prayers being answered. Prayers can't be answered without work. I'm still on pace to make millions this year, even though the storm clouds descended upon all of us. So no matter where you are in your life, you take that circumstances, you make it work for you. You've heard Jairus Coleman's story. How just 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, actually, 2018, almost a year and a half ago, he was suicidal. He is diagnosed with MS. I remember him alone in Houston when his family was in Seattle, or Portland, going to the doctor, trying to figure out how to pay for it, sleeping in his car in the parking lot because he knew as soon as he went home, he'd have to come back to the doctor. The pain he was going through, the mental stress. When you put health problems and financial problems on top of each other, that's stressful. Do you know he's living the best of his life today? He's in the best shape he's ever been in his life. He looks younger now than he did 10 years ago. He took a situation, and now, if you ask him, he'll say that was the best thing that could have ever happened to him. What do you mean? You got diagnosed with MS, but that's the best thing that could have happened to you. That was the best thing that could have happened to him. Completely turned his life around. So no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, you're not going to be able to make things move faster, but you can work towards how your future is going to be. You don't let what's happened to you define how you're going to be. And for those of you that believe, you've gone through things in the past, and yet you survive and you're still here. There's no reason that the same's not going to happen again. And it all comes down to choice. It comes down to choice. And if you need help, you reach out to those that can help you, because you also don't have to be alone. And with that, I'm going to end this live. I got to call my dad back. A couple of quick updates. Those that have been asking, they want the cell phone, SIM card. The price went up to $480 something. However, they're having a Valentine's Day special. If you go to the site, what is it again? Man, it's my own freaking website. I forgot what it's called again. Go5 Mobile. Go5mobile.com and put in promo code LOVE2019 until the 14th. You can get it for $300. Those of you that's been looking for funding, I told you guys last year I was going to be starting an investment group. But you need to have money to use to invest. $100,000, up to $100,000 or more personal loan that you can use to invest with, to make money. Anybody that is part of Diana Townsend's team, before you go to my website to do anything, contact her. I don't want no phone calls. I can't control what you do, but contact her. I want to make sure I'm on record saying that. And last but not least, is there anything else after that? SIM cards, the loans. No, I think it's about it. And that's all I can think of right now. So I hope that touched somebody. You heard and listened to something about that. You learned something new. As always, that is the point. As always, I will see you all tomorrow morning for early morning crypto talk. Have a great day. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.